since LeBron's been on the team, it's been upwards of something like 15 former Clutch clients that's been on this Laker roster in 4 years.
How many, Jay?
So I counted the names. I had 8.
You had 8.
8.
You missing somebody.
Yeah.
But remember when
that's
KCP,
still a lot.
That's still a lot. That's a lot of
the
names.
year before LeBron got to town, you could see the path being paved. I was doing radio out there in ESPN, on ESPN LA, and it was like, oh, KCP got a 1-year, $17 million deal. Oh, maybe LeBron really is coming to LA.
So this is it, Key. You bring up such a good point, and it's funny because, I've been trying to connect this web for the last week and a half on TV, singing between the Les Snead shirt that he quote tweeted, and then he added the Sam Presti comments calling him the real MVP, even though OKC has never won a championship, right? He called him an MVP for recognizing talent, which I understand. But, fans are saying, well, LeBron James needs to own the fact that he's the one that made this call. He's the one that made this call and chose to go for Russell Westbrook. And I say, okay, I understand that. I understand from a fan perspective how you can be angry because LeBron James made the wrong decision as related to Russell Westbrook. Nobody thought Russell would play the way Russell has played the first part of the season. Nobody at all, not this bad, right? But then at the same time, that fan wants Rob Pelinka, like, you need to be strong and do your job. But this is what happens now that you're asking Rob Pelinka to say, draw a line in the sand. Now you're going to have LeBron James that's going to fight back, and it puts Jeanie Buss in a situation where does she choose? What side of history does she choose to stand on? It seems like she's standing on Rob's side for right now. But if LeBron starts to wield his power more and more and more, that could put the Lakers in a very precarious situation. It could get ugly.
When you have a position of power like LeBron has had in the Lakers organization or any organization, for that matter, that he's playing on, he's wanted to play with certain players. They granted him that wish. There's no question about it. I think Jeanie Buss is put in a position because of a long-standing relationship with Rob Pelinka via Kobe Bryant. And so Jeanie is a very loyal individual. I've known Jeanie Buss since I was a kid. And so she's a very loyal individual. I think her loyalty will side with Rob Pelinka before it does an aging LeBron James, despite winning an NBA title just 2 years ago.
Really interesting.
It's just the reality of it. You got to think about it. If LeBron James walks out the door next year or the year after, what are the Lakers left with? They're left with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a Rich Paul client. But Anthony Davis, in most people's eyes, in a Laker building or in the NBA, is not living up to everything that it was supposed to be when he became a Laker. He was supposed to be the heir apparent to LeBron James, and you were supposed to build around him. That doesn't seem like that's going to happen in the future. So what is really Clutch and LeBron James leaving the Lakers when he's done playing in the NBA?
I want to circle back to Jeanie Buss. She's the daughter of the late, great Dr. Jerry Buss, who is by so far the greatest owner in the history of American team sports. It's embarrassing. And I'm a Yankees fan, Steinbrenner, so that no one came close to Dr. Jerry Buss's success. And the way he handled things, too. People loved that dude. Super smart guy. And in Jeannie's case, it feels like the apple didn't fall that far from the tree. And the question about the soul of the Lakers right now, like what kind of franchise are they? Will be revealed partly through this LeBron stuff, because we see LeBron in Miami. Miami is Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, a certain culture. You can't just go in and you're not going to run everything. You have to fit in, even if you're LeBron James.
Also, LeBron James, even though he was established, he became championship level.
Doubt.
So there's a level of him attaining that next level of
no
success.
doubt, but at a certain point, if you're going to flex, you're going to leave, right? Like it is Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra. Okay. Then you go to Cleveland, and Dan Gilbert had, by that time, smartened up and realized, oh, I didn't do anything for LeBron James. He did everything for me. Okay, fine, here, you guys run the show. Now he's in L.A., somewhere between Miami and Pat Riley and Cleveland, right? Somewhere on that spectrum of really strong, healthy, or super competitive culture from the top versus a team that's just happy to have you, are the Lakers. Where are they going to fall? What decision ultimately will Jeanie make? Is she going to – and Key, does it just come down to a calculus where you look at LeBron, as you suggested, and think, Jay, he's only got maybe a year. Like, since he's older now, we don't need to kowtow the way maybe we would have in the past.
But see, guys, this is chess. So who's the most powerful agent in the game of basketball right now, Key?
Rich Paul.
Okay. So when you see the way Rich Paul continues to scale his business, it's going to be a business that's going to be around for a long time.
Absolutely,
So
with players.
Yes, with great players. So how you play this relationship can also depend upon, look, you can't turn down players from making huge deals, but you can deflect players and say, I don't know if this organization is the right organization for my type of players moving in the future.
See, the only problem that I have with that, though, Jay, it's the Lakers.
I understand what you're saying, though, Keith.
That's the only – if we were talking about the Knicks or we were talking about the Milwaukee Bucks or something like that.
Or the Cavs.
The Cavs. It's the Lakers.
Yes,
you know how
that's
many
what I'm
people? You know how many people would get in the ears of those players and tell them, "Man, what you mean you're not going to play for the Lakers because your agent has an issue with the front office?" It's a little bit different.
Key, but that's beyond that. Rob Pelinka's power, a lot of it came from Kobe Bryant, who tragically is no longer around. Rich Paul's power, and I know Rich Paul built out his business, like it's not that it's solely reliant upon LeBron James, but a lot of the power comes from LeBron James.
I know we got a break here in a minute, but hey, that roster is ridiculous.
I prefaced it by saying that I get it.
Look who his partner is right now too. Like, take that into account.
I get it.
He is
LeBron,
in Hollywood.
as LeBron James' power wanes based on his age and level of play, that does not help the enterprise. Key, that's the point you were making earlier about Jeannie's calculation about LeBron.
But see, Key, I don't think LeBron James' power is waning. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.